Good morning. Birthday today. Not quite as old as Joe Biden just yet. Let's have a look at yesterday. Well, Arsenal did the job as they had to. They had to score the next goal, which they did. 1.25, a little bit too over-optimistic by the market, considering this is a playoff. Porto are not going to lie down and get the tummy tickled. Barcelona-Napoli, well, emphatic stuff from Barcelona. Good research again. I get the research for the Champions League from soccerway.com and from Soccer24. Mix them up together, stick them in ChatGPT, give it the right prompt, and you'll get a nice quick look at what are usually not very researchable matches, at least not manually. I wouldn't be researching these matches manually. They're one-off affairs, as you can see with the Arsenal match. These odds are woefully undervalued there. Elsewhere, let's have a look at the Championship, League One, League Two. As ever, we take our cues from the market in these leagues. Did Carlisle lead 2-1 at any stage? Not really. No real trading angle. Well, they did lead. They led initially, so you could have got a trade there if you knew the strengths of Carlisle. Derby, as ever, scoring second half. That was good. They scored first as well. Moving on down, no goals for Leyton Orient. Well, emphatic stuff from Lincoln, far beyond the market's expectation there. Portsmouth, again, a good second half goal scoring side, but I think they scored right at the end of the first half. Yengi's penalty, which was a pity because I would have got involved second half. Pompey at home. Shrewsbury and Exeter, well, job done from Exeter with that red card to the Shrews. You saw Exeter in their last match, that 2-2 result. I can't remember who it was against, but it was against one of the title contenders. And it was a very good performance from Exeter to make it 2-2 in that match against Bolton. So with that in mind, hopefully you'd have got involved after that Shrewsbury red card. We'd have given the green light pretty much for Exeter to get the win. Much needed 3 points as well to just give that gap to the bottom three a lot more impetus. Forest Green, a good example here of a couple of things. Well, just taking them on, and if you did cover insurance, what you could have done later on to avoid a loss, because 0-2 is a loss. 1, both teams to score, no. First minute goal for Forest Green. Both teams to score, no. It's a great idea of John H's. What that will do, that covers the 0-1. It covers the 0-2. And then you go to the correct score market, cover the 1-2. Then you just leave it. Go to the match odds market, back Bradford, lay Forest Green. Half stakers liability. That picks up that. Okay? That's the way to avoid it. The second way to avoid it is to say, well, this Bradford haven't done anything. I'm going to lay, if you took your normal insurance route, I would lay over 1.5 goals, get out of that market, and then I'd get out of the +1 market for Bradford, and you'd make a break even. That avoids these late worrying scorelines. So that was an avoidable loss, depending on the way you approach the play. A loss for Swindon yesterday against Accrington Stanley. Who scored first? And if it was Accrington, did Swindon equalise? No, they didn't. Oh, sorry, Swindon scored first. So it was unlucky, really, for Swindon, because the first goal from Accrington was a penalty. Wrexham against Harrogate, finishing 0-0. On to today. Let's have a quick look. Bournemouth against Luton. So don't forget, Footballtradingprofits.club will be rid of by tomorrow. Anything you need will be at Footballtradingprofits.com. So don't worry, you're not going to be losing any part of the service. Let's have a look at Bournemouth against Luton. Well, Bournemouth have only recently lost to Manchester City and Liverpool at home in 2024, despite only one win in 2024, which came against Burnley, which is another newly promoted side. They're playing newly promoted Luton today. Bournemouth have scored 2 goals in 3 of the last 4 matches, which is not what Luton need. They scored 2/3 of their goals second half. 4 defeats and a draw recently for Luton. Both teams scored in 9 out of their last 10 matches. So we could see both teams to score today, and I would certainly consider laying Luton if they scored first. Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan. Again, I've just done a ChatGPT look at the match. This is far more appealing, isn't it, than not researching at all. It doesn't take me much time to do, and it provides you with some really excellent stats. 6 of Atletico's last 9 Champions League matches have seen the game's opening goal arrive within the first 10 minutes. Inter Milan have scored the opening goal of the game in the last 7. Atletico Madrid have received the first card of the game in the last 5. So really good stuff, isn't it? I don't know what the opening scoreline is. Inter holding a slender 1-0 advantage. So a bit like Porto against Arsenal, Atletico Madrid are going to have to score first. Dortmund against PSV, 1-1 draw. So it's wide open, absolutely wide open. Both teams have been successful in finding the back of the net. Yep, PSV having a remarkable season, unbeaten so far this season, and we're going to do.
This market is now in play.
It was going to look like a 100% win record, but that ended with a draw. PSV have scored in the last 6 Champions League matches. Dortmund have won 3, drawn 2, and lost 1 of the last 6 matches. So they haven't got a good win record, Dortmund. PSV might actually score. Peterborough against Stevenage. This looks rather obvious, more obvious than 1.83 suggests. Stevenage on a run of 2 consecutive 0-0s, so I would certainly lay any late 0-0, but it's unlikely to occur with 11 consecutive over 2.5 goal matches at home for Peterborough, who have scored in the last 17 home matches, both teams scoring in the last 7. So we might see that today, but certainly Stevenage are gettable. All defeats away against the top 7 for Stevenage. They're playing 5th today. The only Achilles heel, and the reason why Peterborough are 1.83, is because this is a top 6 clash. We've also got the Scottish football today, but I'm not going to be researching that. One of the matches is 2.4 the favourite.
This market has been suspended.
That does not make any great appeal at all. That's just fair bottom in the background. So that's it. Thailand League Cup, of course. You'll be itching to get involved in that today. Any of the local teams playing? Prachuap Khiri Khan are playing today. That's where I live, Prachuap. But Hua Hin FC, by far the greatest team the world has ever seen, they're not playing today. Gaddafi's playing today. Good to see the old guy back after dying or being killed in the uprising in his country. Good to see him back and with his football boots back on. Maroons, Wakisi Giants and Express. Great names for the Ugandan Premier League. So quietish evening. I'm not sure if I'll be about, but if I'm up, I do prefer, if I'm going to be staying up at 2:30 a.m. to 3 a.m., I would prefer a far more robust coupon. So you know what it's like on a Saturday and Sunday. That's how I like it. But if I'm up about, I will certainly be following it. I'd like to make some money as well. So there's no reason for me not to oblige if I'm awake at those hours and see if we can make a nice profit. As I warned you, the research is a little dry, Europa League and Europa Conference League, what I'll do for these matches is to look to use soccerway.com and soccer24.com and just give you some basics on these. It doesn't take long, and as you've seen, these write-ups are incredible considering they're absolutely free. Take your cues, of course, from any first legs that there might be. I'm not sure if there are any first legs. Yes, there is. 2-2 from the first leg. I think Rangers are possibly gettable. My expectation is that Benfica, along with some really familiar names like Angel Di Maria, are just going to be a little bit too good for this Rangers side. That's my instinct. Rangers don't have anyone to push them in the SPL apart from Celtic. It's a ridiculous league. If you want a side to stretch in Europe, they're not going to get anywhere in Europe if they're just playing minnows in the SPL. And their only rival being Celtic FC. They're going to finish first or second, a bit like the French League 1. Manchester City, arguably, in the Premier League. It's a ridiculous pair of sides with too much money. and the competition factor is pretty much done, which for me would favour Benfica there. So some really good matches. AC Milan have been in excellent form of late, but due deference to Slavia Prague, that AC Milan are only 2.15. Villarreal, Marseille, West Ham, hit and miss at the moment. Atalanta, again, I would be favouring Atalanta over Sporting Lisbon personally. Bayer Leverkusen against Karabag, got us an excellent trade last time. Brighton against Roma, interesting match. Liverpool against Sparta Prague, well, there's no real stopping Liverpool at the moment. Sparta Prague from the Czech Republic should not really land a blow at all. A bit like the SPL, lacking any real competition, the Czech one league. Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague, and that's about it, basically. Conference League, some familiar names, lots of odds-on favourites. All of the home sides, bar one, are odds-on favourites. That should give you a nice handle into this, and I'll certainly be up and about on Thursday for these matches for you if I'm not about tonight. Lille, Club Brugge, Molde's season's yet to start in Norway, so that's a disadvantage. Aston Villa and Ajax, well, Ajax are just cocking things up prior to Europa Conference League matches. If Villa can find their footing at home and their usual goal scoring, they should be far too good. Yet again, it's a poor, weak league, the Dutch Eredivisie, dominated by Ajax, PSV and Twente, Feyenoord. I think that's about it. All the others, they just tend to beat rather easily, apart from pre and post Conference League. Poulsen, PAOK Thessaloniki, Fiorentina and Fenerbahce. So Thursday's looking like a good coupon. Friday, I think we return to league football prior to the international break. International break is coming upon us. So just be a little wary that I'm going to be a little quiet for the next couple of weeks. Looking for nursing homes, probably, because it's my birthday, you see. So I'll spend the next 2 weeks just looking at the local nursing homes, see the facilities. The international will start, I think, on Tuesday the 19th. And will work its way through to the week after that. You can see some competitive qualifiers. And again, the best way to research these, I think, would be to use the previews at Soccer24 and uk.soccerway.com. And when you've got international football, you need the FIFA World Rankings as a good gauge. This will give you an idea of how the sides match up. So Argentina are world number one, of course, world champions. And if you want to look predominantly at Europe, you go to the UEFA section here, and then you can get a good idea of the ranking differential, and that will give you your first handle into the match. Your second handle will be the pre-match odds, which aren't quite up there yet. So a quiet end to March, and then we go full pelt into, am I going to stay up? Am I going to be promoted? It's all getting a bit worrying in April. We're going to see. I don't know when the last day of the season is in April. But April is a key month. It's going to be incredibly busy for us. We've got end of seasons to look forward to as well. And when you get an end of season, you're going to see all teams playing at the same time, as you can see here. So this is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this, 27th of April. And preempting that, what you do, you use the live standings. These standings will turn live as matches progress. This is the technique for the end of the season. As goals occur, you get an automatic movement of a team in the league table. And you can gauge if the opponent needs to get an equaliser or if it's a dead rubber for the opponent, if they're in mid-table mediocrity and all that. We've got all that to look forward to. We made some really good money at the end of the Norwegian season. And indeed, we saved a bit of money in not playing dead rubbers. So I'm really looking forward to that. So you'll excuse me if there's not much for me to be doing this evening for you. It's only a matter of 5 or 6 matches. I'm sure you can cope. But I'm certainly going to be with you on Thursday with a busy Europa League and Europa Conference League session. And of course, I'll be with you for the usuals on Saturday and Sunday. And it's nice to see a lot more of you turning up for the live chat webinars, or well, the live streams. They're not really webinars. Live streams, you'll get a lot more than you would get using the Telegram service. And if you are up and about for them, just stick them on the background in your computer. I'm sure you'll find it very informative. I look forward to seeing you on the 16th and 17th of March. So have a great day. I'm off to have a nice round of golf at a beautiful course on the coast of Hua Hin called Sea Pines. Looking forward to that. I won't be passing on my scorecard to you tomorrow. It's likely I'm going to need a very big calculator to work out my final score. So have a great day. You might not see me later on because there's not enough volume of matches to do a live this evening, but if I am up and about, I'll certainly follow them. But certainly you'll have my attention on Thursday the 14th with the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. Plenty of matches, all kicking off at the same time. Absolutely ideal for a trading session. Have a great day.